Happy Sabbath, everyone. My purpose this evening is to speak on health, but it's called a health tip. Now, the purpose, before I go into it, let me give you this disclaimer that my purpose is not to give you medical advice. So if you take medications or do not take what I say as medical advice. Okay? So that's my disclaimer. Now, the subject of the health tip is drugs. Drugs. And I'm going to be sharing a few quotations on drugs from our books. This one is from Counsels on Medical Evangelism. And it goes like this. Let many now ask, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? It is the Lord's purpose that his method of healing without drugs shall be brought into prominence in every large city through our medical institutions. God invests with holy dignity those who go forth in his power to heal the sick. So, is God's method of healing drugs? Another one I will share with you from Counsels on Health. It's entitled The Use of Drugs. A practice that is laying the foundation of a vast amount of disease and of even more serious evils is the free use of poisonous drugs. When attacked by disease, many will not take the trouble to search out the cause of their illness. Their chief anxiety is to rid themselves of pain and inconvenience. So, when this was written, a practice that was coming on was where the drugs was used freely. And I would say that in this time in which we are living, drugs is even more prevalent. The use of drugs even more prevalent. So, what does God think about this drug? What is God's view of it? Does God want his people to be looking to drugs, or does he have another plan? Avoid the use of, my dear friends, instead of taking a course to baffle disease, you are petting it and yielding to its power. You should avoid the use of drugs and carefully observe the laws of health. If you regard your life, you should eat plain food prepared in the simplest manner and take more physical exercise. Each member of the family needs the benefits of health reform, but drugging should be forever abandoned. For while it does not cure any malady, it enfeebles the system, making it more susceptible to disease. Testimonies for the Church, Volume 5, page 311. So it would seem from this that it is not God's plan that his people be constantly drugging. Another one from Counsels on Diet and Foods. Institutions for the care of the sick are to be established, where those who are suffering from disease may be placed under the care of God-fearing medical missionaries and be treated without drugs. To these institutions, there will come those who have brought disease upon themselves by improper habits of eating and drinking, and a simple, wholesome, palatable diet is to be provided. So, God wants his people to be looking away from drugs. Is drugs expensive for us, or is it cheap? Counsels on diets and foods. Page 302. There are many ways of practicing the healing art, but there is only one way that heaven approves. God's remedies are the simple agencies of nature that will not tax or debilitate the system through their powerful properties. Pure air and water, cleanliness, a proper diet, purity of life, and a firm trust in God are remedies for the want of which thousands are dying. Yet these remedies are going out of date because their skillful use requires work that the people do not appreciate. Fresh air, exercise, pure water, and clean, sweet premises are within the reach of all, with but little expense. But drugs are expensive, both in the outlay of means and the effect produced upon the system. Testimonies for the Church, Volume 5, page 443. So, that is our health tip. I hope that if it does nothing else, it will encourage you to inquire, to see whether God wants his people to be depending upon drugs or he has another way.